Hello, good evening everyone, and welcome to a brand new season of the Flat Out E-Racing DTM Championship. And for this one, we are at YAMAGIWA and Japan for race 1 and 2, which will make up round 1. I'm Rolfie, and I'm really pleased to say I have got skis with me all the way from Jacksonville, North Carolina, fresh from iRacing Daytona 24-hour race, I believe.
Oh yeah, as I told you earlier, man, I'm half delirious, but I'm back. I'm here doing more racing. I just raced, now I'm here to talk racing. I still got it in me.
Well, are your arms okay? Because I imagine they're the thing they're about to drop off.
Oh my god, I did it on a direct drive wheel at 14 Newton meters the whole time in LMP2. My arms are dead.
But how amazing. You're on track with Grosjean, Broadbent, Verstappen. Absolutely incredible.
I wish I was on that split. I'm not quite there yet, but, you know, hopefully in a few years we'll get there. But being on the same track and in the same, like, timing and stuff, it's just like, I don't know, it's so weird. I don't know, something about it, like being able to turn on my computer, get out of my bed. I don't even have to shower. I do shower, but, you know, to get out of bed, go to my room, and, you know, turn on my computer, and I'm racing in the same room possibly as some cup drivers here, especially for NASCAR and stuff. You know, you get cup drivers like that, but for Daytona, you're in the same lobby. You've been practicing for the same event as these pros who, like Grosjean, drives in the Indy 500, which I'm going to watch again this year. It's just, I don't know, it's surreal.
Well, let's catch up with that in the break between the races, because just to remind everybody, we're just in the qualifying session now. We've got 10-minute qualifying with just 6 minutes of that left. We're then going to be straight into our first race, which will be gridded up based on how these drivers have qualified, and then after that race we'll have a reverse grid race for 30 minutes, but just to add a little twist into it, the top 6 drivers will have to go to a harder compound tyre, which is going to slow them up a bit. So they're going to be at the back of the field, and they're going to have to work their way all the way through. So that generally, as we've seen before, ends up some really tight racing. But look, having a quick look at the times at the moment, it's our old favourites up at the front, Stormfly and Dan looks like he's on a flyer. He's 0.2 up at, I think, the second sector. So he looks like he's on form to possibly nick that pole position from Stormfly. Let's see, he's coming up to the line now, and no, lost a little bit in that last sector. You seeing anybody on a good lap there, Skis?
Well, you see, in honor of Meatloaf, you took the words right out of my mouth. I was sitting here watching Dan on that flyer, and I was just about to say exactly what you said. So that's who I was on for that one. But I'm moving around trying to see who's finishing up right here. It looks like we got somebody. We got a few coming to the line. Oh, Chili Bass coming across the line. He was 3/10 down on his other time. He stays third.
Oh, just looking to have a quick look down in third. Chili Bass, as you mentioned, Loxtex there in fourth. I've just got Stormfly on my screen at the moment, and it looks like at that chicane of doom he was right out across the grass. So I imagine that may have cancelled this lap for him. So we've got Select in fifth, R80 up there in sixth, and Cajun 100 down in seventh. What are you seeing, Skis?
I'm seeing a lot of people taking curb. I'm also seeing Select is now out on his out lap, as well as Tamoris down. It shows he's down in 10th, but he's actually out on an out lap right now. It looks like he went, oh, it looks like we had somebody in the wall. Cajun.
Yeah. Our door mirrors for 911. Door mirrors for 911's quite expensive, because I think Cajun owes Chili Bass one after that particular manoeuvre.
Ooh, that was sketchy to say the least.
So it's interesting running this circuit the way in this opposite direction. I don't think it flows quite as well as it does the other way round. I don't know what you think.
I mean, the thing about GT is, like you said, the other way around. You can flip these tracks and it's a whole completely different thing. Me personally, I'm a left-handed turn kind of guy. I don't know, I just am. Well, and so, you know, when it's going the other way, I'm better around, like, you know, the longer turns. But either way, if sharp right-hand turn with how open these are and how fast you can take them, either way you can run it smooth.
Well, I've got to be careful here because I don't want to sort of upset Anglo-American relationships. But of course, right-handers are a bit of an alien force to you guys, aren't they?
Hey, I took plenty of them yesterday and this morning, so I think we're good there.
Oh, I can't quite see the number in the background, but the one who is punching, I think, a little bit above their weight tonight so far is R80. He's up there in 4th, and he's going for the Porsche as well. So he's gone up a little bit quicker there, and it might have been R80 that I saw just have a little bit of a spin there. We've got just under 2.5 minutes to go, and I noticed that Stormfly has pitted and gone out for a fresh set of tyres. So these Stormfly and Dan are still beating each other up at the front here, I think.
Oh yeah, and what I'm saying, a lot of people are getting that slow down half a second penalty coming into the last turn.
And the long right-hander.
The long left-hander, right before the line.
I think I would argue that's a right-hander from my angle, but...
Oh, yeah, right-hander. I'm sorry. I told you, my brain is gone. I sat there and stared at it.
I was frantic. I was doing the same thing here. I was frantically looking at it, and I'm thinking, no, I'm sure, lefty-loosey, righty-tighty. It's definitely a right.
Yeah, that might be proof that I haven't had much sleep.
Well, Stormfly's going out for probably what is his last qualifying lap, and he is tucked up behind somebody who is Cajun 100, so he might be...
Morris across the line for 4th.
Oh!
And he has enough time to set another lap right here.
Yep, but all the laps they are on now, he's going to be their last qualifying laps because it's a 1:32 lap, and we've only got 58 seconds remaining.
Yep, and it looks like Chili Bass is getting ready to go across the line to start his last lap right here.
So
it's on an out lap, so it won't have a timing.
Stormfly is still using Cajun 100 for a bit of a draft here. Cajun 100 looks like he's pretty good on the pace, and they're about 2/3 of the way around the lap, and at the moment it doesn't look like Stormfly is going to get hindered. Oh, we might do. They're just coming back over the crest. Oh, he's 0.073 up at the last split.
Ooh, low sec up to 4th across the line. He was catching a draft off of, who was it? The person in the blue Porsche. Was it 20? No, there's 2 of them somewhere. I'm sorry. I was off the one in the old Golf Porsche.
Stormfly ran wide on the exit of that last right-hander, and he's down by 0.6 of a second by the time he got to the line.
Here we go. We got some Morris coming around that long right-hander. See, I got it right that time. Getting ready to come across the line. Let's see if he can improve on 5th. Right,
we've got a little bit of a glitch potentially coming up. I've just got a message that everyone might have to leave the track after the qualifying to do a manual grid. But I'm not quite sure why, because Dan, I think there's a possible... Go.
Chili Bass tried to send it, and he just went straight across the chicane through the grass. Yeah, his lap was over, and he knew it. He cut across. He tried to take that as fast as he could. He was going first or nothing on that one.
He decided to lick the stamp and send it, as Daniel Ricciardo would say.
Exactly. And now we got Select getting ready to go across the line, trying to improve on a spot of 7th.
I'm up with him now.
Oh, he does. He moves up to 5th, and then following him, we got, it looks like Losec coming across.
Got him. Oh.
And he takes up. Oh, he moves up.
Right. Well,
we got him. Oh, Cajun. Here we go. Cajun getting ready to come across. We got people who waited.
But Cajun was just in front of Stormfly, wasn't he? So once Stormfly gone, he was clear on his own little space. So
Cajun moved up 1 spot to 7th, and it looks like we got one more getting ready to come across. If I can figure him out. Who is it? Noddy's. Okay, here we go. Noddy's is coming around, but he's on looks like a 6-minute and 30-second lap. It's an out lap. It ain't gonna count.
And he's gone for the pits.
Yep.
Right, the glitch we've had is Dan TGT got disconnected.
Huh.
So, okay, this has a frightening sound of being a bit Michael Massey. Now, I wouldn't, you know, I'm going to have to be very careful here because all the hate squads are going to be out after me, but I'm merely the messenger, and let's be honest, the Greeks were the last ones that shot the messenger. Was originally they were going to have to leave the track after qualifying, but what they have now agreed after some discussion, of which due to confidentiality I can't explain, but they've decided that Dan is going to join the room and start from the back.
Even after qualifying second?
Yeah, I think it's because he got kicked out, because I can't get him on screen. When I click on his number, it's not letting me view him, so it's like he's not in the room.
And now let me tell you, just like you are getting your Michael Massey on because you're trying to put on a good show, because Dan going to the back, that's going to be fun to watch.
And we know Dan can do it as well.
That's going to be a show. And now, you were telling me I was expecting Asian cars. We come in here and we're having a Porsche 911 season.
Yeah, I'm wondering if I've messed that up with Wednesday nights. I've got so much going on that I may have dropped a little bit of a proverbial flank.
Oh, no problems.
I was hoping. Yes, it's a Group 4 on a Wednesday.
Everybody
I do
in the same
apologise.
car. Everybody in the same car though. Just it's even. You know, you don't have to put on bop and worry about anything like that. It's gonna be. We're gonna find out right here.
We are. Here we go. Eyes up. Lights are gonna go green, and we're off. And it looks like everyone has got a pretty good start there by the looks of it. We're all going wide across the track. Stormfly still in the lead. Select trying to slip down the inside of Lockstech there.
Yeah, and Lockstech's holding that line. They're going to battle into the next one.
Yeah, but Lockstech's got the high ground, I think.
And Chili Bass is winning. He's the one winning from all this. He's just waiting to poach.
And yeah, Lockstech hung on to that one. Select now looks like he's coming under pressure.
We got a ghost in the back. FOE is ghosted.
So Select's coming under a lot of pressure now from Chili Bass and Timorous. The HKRT drivers are giving him a really hard time. It's Greek versus Poland. Oh, Lockstech's right.
Whew. See, Poland's sitting there working together, trying to get up front.
Well, maybe they've learned from the Greeks. The Greeks have been very good at doing it in the past. But looking down the list, I don't know where to look at the moment, but I can notice that Cajun is between Chili Bass and Timorous. So Timorous, it looks like he's had a bit of a moment there, but I'm watching Select on Lockstech at the moment.
Oh my gosh, they are, those are three cars that are just, you can almost slide up. Oh, what a move.
What a move that didn't really work out there, did it?
What a move. Which one are you watching?
Well, Select and Lockstech ended up both in the barrier.
Timorous made a move up into third.
Right, what happened was Lockstech got it all wrong, went across the road, hit the barrier, came back on the road. Select was trying to do that. Let's hope he's gone when I get there, and he wasn't.
Oh, wow.
So that's mixed the order up a bit, and the two Polish drivers effectively took each other out there.
I mean, yeah, my brain, I'm trying to think of something to say about Poland, but I love their donuts. That's all I can bring to mind right now. I can't remember what they're called. I can't remember what they're called, but they're absolutely delicious.
Wow. At the moment,
like Paxies, that's what they are. Paskies. I love those things.
Well, you obviously know a lot more than I do, but just going back to what's going on, the one who's looking very, very racy in that wonderful Golf livery at the moment is Cajun 100. He is right on the back of both the HKRT drivers and giving them a hard time, which is fantastic to see.
Oh yeah, Cajun is sticking to him, but do we got 3 Golf liveries back to back right now?
Yeah, no, I'm not sure the next one back doesn't look quite the right colours, but I might be wrong. I'm just focused on the Cajun. He's going down the inside of the last corner. Can he make it? No.
Oh, Oh, he's being smart. He's being patient. He knows he has 16 more minutes, and if he sticks right there, he can, save a little bit more time. Doesn't have to push the tires as hard because he can coast in turns a little bit. So he can maybe make these super softs last a bit longer.
I think you're exactly right with deliveries, though, but just looking at Jonbold, he looks like he's coming under a bit of every attack from Noddy's
just
mate.
made a move on him. Yeah, that's exactly. Yep, we're on the same page, and that's a beautiful. See, I'm not always a fan of flames on the side of the car, even though I put a set of green flames on the side of my Daytona car. Those are great flames.
Just looking at the replay, Jonbold was going for the defensive line, but outbraked himself. Went deep mid-corner, and Noddy's mate just came back under on the switchback and had the move done. Fantastic bit of driving there. So Noddy's mate is definitely up from where he was last season. I know he was getting really frustrated with what was happening with his racing, and he's now pulling away from Jonbold, so he's going to be chuffed with that one.
Oh yeah, and it looks like he might be. No, it looks like he might be waiting to get. I mean, shoot, he has everything to gain right here because he can catch up to 3rd through 5th since they're just, battling, looking at what to do. So if he can become part of that train, well, now it's actually 2nd through 5th. He has every chance in the world to hop into this train and have a chance in this race.
Well, Chili Bass in 2nd. He's getting a little bit of a gap on that sort of 3rd to 5th battle, which seems to be where the most of the action is at the moment. And Timorous is the filling very much in the Gulf sandwich.
Very, very much.
And it's
I couldn't think of a British food other than I really couldn't think of a British food.
And Timorous is looking quite racy down the main straight. Cajun's obviously got by him, and Cajun's pace in this Porsche is really good. Oh, Timorous down the inside.
And if they can keep trading off, it can actually work if they trade laps and don't battle. That can be strategic.
But the other side,
it doesn't look like it is. It can be accidentally strategic.
Well, I think it's accidentally falling into Tuno's hands in 5th because he's coming up really quick on the back of these two guys who I think are actually holding each other up with this sort of position swapping, and that's what allowing Chili Bass to get away in 2nd place at the moment.
Oh yeah, it's a really close race. I want to check in on Losec real quick. It looks like he's keeping a steady 22 seconds, but let me see what tires did he put on. He threw on another set of super softs, so it looks like he's going to probably have to pit one more time. I didn't know if he was going to try to throw on a set of mediums or hards and make it to the end.
Well, let's just have a look what they've got on. Yeah, it's fuel. It's going to be the. Oh, Truno just decided to take a layer of paint off the Armco there on the exit of that long right-hander, but it seems to have got away with it. Lost a little bit of time, but not a massive amount. Oh, he's just on the grass now as well, so he's doing everything he can to try and catch up with this battle for 3rd. Oh, and he got a penalty for that one. That was a little bit too ambitious. But what I can see is they are going to be starting to dive in the pits for fuel. Yeah, and Tuno's gone for
pits. And there goes
pits.
Cajun.
Yeah.
And so does Cajun, right on cue.
So the one thing we've learned from last season, Season 5, was that the HKRT drivers are particularly good at stretching out their fuel, aren't they? Because it's interesting to see that Stormfly is also in the same category of those top 3 of not having the pit quite yet, where the others have already had to go.
Well, and it looks like everybody except the top 3 has pitted now, not counting Select and Losec because of their wreck. And so we should see if the undercut works here.
And it'll be interesting to see what happens, because obviously they're on slightly newer tyres, but Timorous, we know, can put in some good laps. So I think this is going to be tight. I think Timorous, Stormfly and Chili Bass are going to have to come in at the end of this lap.
It's looking very low. Unless they pull some miracle, they're definitely going to have to come in here now. So they have to push right here. Let's see what kind of time they put in.
And then they're going to be able to feel for the end, which they can on this 20-minute race, but it's the 30-minute race we've got coming up after this one with the reverse grid, which can quite often produce quite interesting 1 or 2 stop alternative strategies.
Oh yes, and when you want to go, the person who's leading the undercut right now is Tuano V4. But what you don't want on an outlap when you're trying to undercut is getting a time penalty. And right now he's got a slowdown of 0.4 left. Oh. So hopefully he can rub that off. But let's see what happens. We got the leaders are in the pit now.
They're in the pit. So let's hop on board with Tuno. As you say, he's got that 0.4 of a second, but he has shuffled out quite well on the top. Did he go? I'll just have a look at his dash. I wonder if he went for a short field. I think he might be optimistic.
He did.
Yeah. He's given him
Maybe
track
he knows
position.
Something we don't.
No, he's given him track position, but I think he's going to take pains for that one later on. And it looks like Stormfly was coming out of the pits. Oh, they've come out together.
Chili Bass. Oh, and now he's right in there.
He is, but he's not going to make the end on that fuel usage unless he works something where he can wind it all the way back. Maybe he's got his head set for a two stopper, but that is going to be really, really painful come about 3 or 4 minutes to go, I think.
And now what happened to Cajun? He's dropped all the way down to 7th.
Chili Bass, that was a little bit of a tap to pass, that one at the hairpin there, but doesn't look like there was a massive amount of harm done. But I think Chili Bass was flapping a little bit. The Stormfly was getting away, and Tuno possibly wasn't quite as quick. And obviously he gained track position when that short to stop, and he was worried that Tuno was going to hold him up and Stormfly was going to be off and away.
Oh, I mean, in a sprint race, you don't want to follow somebody if they can't pull the times you are. It's the worst feeling going into a corner, knowing how you can take it, and you're trying to trail somebody, save gas or whatever, and all of a sudden they slow down a whole second slower than you would. And it gets dangerous for your car too.
Well, we'll talk about it in the interval, but I had some heart-stopping moments on your behalf. Go.
Oh, just the line they take through that chicane is just amazing.
There's quite a lot of curb taken down there, isn't there?
Oh my gosh, when they're following each other, it scares me. I'm not brave enough for that one.
But when I was watching your feed, and I say we'll talk about it at the break, but it was the fact you had LMP2 cars and GT3 cars all out together, and there was some closing moments where I winced. So I don't know what you did, but we'll catch up with that one. But you know, that is that problem of cars at differential speeds, isn't it?
Oh, I mean, it really is, but I don't know. It's one of those things where it works in harmony if done right. If everybody knows what they're doing and they're on the same page, it works. And it's all about, and I'll get into it more when we get into the half, but it's all about different lines. Anyway, like when you're coming into something, you know, there's a wet line, there's a dry line, there's a, faster line than most, there's a safe line, there's a defensive line. You have to find certain lines through turns so you can keep your speed while following, because if you sometimes take the same line, you're going to be, just a tad slower. Because you might get up on their tail a little too fast.
Then you get a little bit of a surprise. Right, well, what I was going to do is work my way quickly through the field. I just hopped onto 4th with Timorous. Now, I think that's really a net third, because I think Juno, we know he's going to end up having to come in for a pit stop. But interestingly, he was not far behind Chili Bass, was he? But now he's a good sort of probably 5 or 6 seconds behind. So I'm not quite sure where he lost out on that time.
I know, and it's like, I mean, Tuno has a quarter of a tank left. So I'm staying with him, but I really don't know what he's going to do. Unless he's could he be trying to get 7th?
Possibly. Well, but in 5th at the moment is Jombold, who has done their pit stop, and they jumped up fairly well. But again, they look like they've gone for the 2-stopper, because he's got an 1/8 of a tank left, and I don't think that's enough to get him to the end of the race.
Naughties and Cajun are battling side by side. Oh, I don't know how they held that one still. That was gorgeous.
Well, I'll go back and have a quick replay on that one then. So Cajun wide on the outside, Noddy's mate on the inside. They've come out of it side by side. They're up to that slightly tighter than opening chicane. Cajun's on the inside. Noddy. Oh, there was a little touchy-feely on the way in there, wasn't it? But they got away with it.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I don't know. They made it work.
Well, they're all still pointing the same direction, so that's all we worry about. But they're at it again. They've just hopped back to them. And they're just coming back over the crest there, down to the long right-hander. Cajun is going for the inside. Can Noddy's mate hang it out all the way around the outside? Looks like he's going to.
Owen Tuano's up in second.
He is. Let's see how far back that was, see if we can catch it. Yeah, it looks like he got him at the long right-hander.
He has to pit. Okay, there he goes. He's in the pits. Let's see what he does.
Yeah, that's gonna
keep an eye on it.
That's gonna be a world of pain, isn't it?
It looks like Jan Bold's in too, so it looks like they're both on the same strategy.
Yeah, Jan Bold was quite low on the field as well. So that explains probably why we saw Cajun drop quite so far down. So that he's there sat in 5th, as we noticed earlier. Noddy's mate up to 4th. So this is starting to shake out what is the true race order as we go in for just over 6 minutes remaining. So Cajun there in 5th. We've got R80 there in 6th in the BWT Porsche. So that he had a good qualifying, didn't he? And he sort of stabilised that same position come the race.
I mean, the first race with the tire thing, I'm just so interested. I want to know what every driver's thinking, because we have, as we said, we have some drivers who can fly. But FOE, he was ghosting at the first, and he's made a run. You're right, and Losec's back in too.
Yeah, mention it. I think Tuno.
He might finish.
Tuno's just had a spin coming out of. I'm just going to do a replay of it. Tuno had a spin on his outlap down at that sort of left chicane where you take lots of grass.
Oh, yeah. See, that's what I was worried about down there. Jan Bold's taking a half-second penalty.
Oh, he lost as he came out. He was up the red and white curb and just went a little bit too far. And the back end, you know, the Porsche, as we know, the engine is in completely the wrong place. The back end came round and slammed him into the barrier round the far side. So that rather spoiled his moment there. So
Porsches are snappy, man.
Well, it's the pendulum effect, isn't it? Lockstech in the pits.
Ooh, Lockstech went in. He's gonna have to check. See, I wonder if he could have made it to the end. I don't know if he had maybe lowered his fuel a little bit. I don't know. I know these guys have practiced a whole lot more than I have, though, so.
So heading back up the front, Stormfly is still flying away. It's last season repeating itself, because that's our previous season's champion, Stormfly out there in first. He's now got 6 seconds clear on Chili Bass and Timorous.
Yeah, and Chili Bass has got him a good same gap on Timorous. And Timorous has a 9-second gap on Noddy, but Noddy's up to 4th.
He's going to be absolutely over the moon. He's only got just over 4 minutes to hang that one together. And
yeah, as you would say, he'd be chuffed. He's going to be chuffed. Did I say it right?
Yeah, he's going to be chuffed. That's it. We'll teach you proper English before this season's over.
Yeah, we don't know proper English here. Y'all don't spell words right.
No, colour has a U in it. It's just basics. Anyway, getting back to the point, Noddy's mate, just to quickly explain the paint scheme that's on his car. I believe that's his father-in-law's paint scheme from a drag racer that he raced at a place called Santa Pod. I believe it was called the Devil. And unfortunately, his father-in-law recently passed away, so he's done that in honour of his father-in-law, and we're going to do a little bit of a celebration for him on Wednesday at the Group 4 Asia series, now that I've got my series in the right order.
Oh, that's awesome.
So that's where that's
I love seeing tributes like that. And like I said earlier, I'm not a big fan of flames, but for some reason on that car, those are good flames.
And it's one of those good old school drag cars with a small 1930s coupe body at the back and a big engine at the front. That style of thing. So, but very popular, particularly the 70s and 80s. Those style of cars. So, who we got? Have we got anybody doing anything? It looks like...
That's what I'm looking for. The closest we got is in 9th and 8th.
I would argue we got 5th and 6th are looking quite close. And I think...
We got 5th and 6th running.
Yeah, I'm going to have a quick look because Cajun was leading R80 down into that chicane, and Cajun got it all horribly wrong, got on the grass, stopped it from spinning around, rumbled across the grass, did a bit of a council's job of cutting it for them, and he's lost 5th position to R80. And he's just done it again.
Really?
That fast sweeping section just before the end of the lap, he took a little bit too much of a chunk and took a chunk out of the barrier as well. So I don't know if no, he's round. He's ended up in the pit lane when he didn't want to go in the pit lane.
Oh my lord, who's in the pits?
Hello, they're all spinning off. That's Yombo. Oh, his tyres are gone. His tyres are gone.
In the pits. Cajun's in the pits too.
Yeah, well, he just spun round and round and ended up sort of basically in the pits, even though he didn't want. He come out of the last corner, spun round, and actually spun into the pit lane. So when he tried to correct it, he just spun round again. And I think at that point he went.
Select and Jan Bold are now in a battle.
I'm on it.
Jan Bold has the tires too, so let's see what can happen here.
He had the tyres, but he didn't have at that point because he lost the grip on the rear of the exit of the tight hairpin. Just under a minute remaining.
It's all starting to kick off out of nowhere. It got a little quiet for a second there. Oh, Cajun making a he tried to make a move, but Tuano blocked it up. Now he's holding the outside, which turns into the inside there, but he came back in. They're just kind of going. There's nothing. I mean, 8th and 9th and 10th they're battling.
I'm on it. Battling for the honour of pole position in the second race.
Exactly. I mean, it's pride at that point. You don't want to have 2 digits next year. Oh, that was a little bit of drifting action by Cajun there.
It was off screen for me, but it did sound a little bit squeaky, shall we say?
That was Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift, like drifty.
So here we go. Right, the time is just about to run out. So I think the driver's probably 8th, 9th. So Selector's crossing the line. No, he hasn't finished.
Yep, this is going to be the last lap.
They're on their final lap. So who's...
Jan Bolt and Select looks like our only battle.
So I'm going to go back to that. So Lockstech in 8th has now finished. And it looks like Cajun's going to come out on top of the 2 stoppers with himself and Tuno, who's come through in 10th. So that's is that battle for 6th and 7th one we've seen? Oh, Select and Yombold are going for it in 6th and 7th.
Oh yeah, they're going after it. And they got a good amount of lap left for it too.
They have. I'm just keeping an eye on I'm going to come back to it, but I'm just having a look. Stormfly crosses the line.
Jan making a move on the inside. They're touching. Jan Bolt, is he going to make it stick?
So Chili Bass has gone through in 2nd, and Timorous coming across the line in 3rd. Noddy's mate is still on for 4th. I'm going to take a quick gamble and hope I can get that move. Yeah, Yombold was down the inside of that long right-hander, wasn't he? I've got it on screen now.
There they go around the last turn. I think Yombold's it's going to be at the line. It's going to be at the line.
Unfortunately, I'm on the replay. Yombold got it. I could just...
Oh, that was close.
We needed camera in that, or picture in picture, sorry, on that occasion, just to make those 2 work.
There we go with the Lucky Strikes. Shout out Tobacco Products. Good job.
Is that a product they still sell?
You don't have to breathe well when you don't run. It works perfect.
Well, that's a fantastic drive there by Stormfly.
Oh, yeah, Lucky Strikes are everywhere.
It's still a current product, is it?
Oh yeah, you can find them anywhere.
Right. So that was a great win there by Stormfly. That was basically lights the flag, wasn't it? He got it on pole position. Had a little bit of advantage that Dan wasn't there.
I was just about to ask, is Dan going to be back for the next one?
He is. Yeah, he's in the room, so he's hoping to be back well, he's saying he wants to start at the back on mediums.
Oh.
So I'm not quite sure how he can do that, because, but wherever he starts, he's going to be a threat in this race. And so
I'd love to see him try it on wets.
Well, we've got a wet round coming up, because that's a bit of a novelty for this DTM championship. We've got a where are we? Let me just bring the details up of all the various rounds we've got. So I'm just having a little bit of reporting, and I think it may be sound that's picking up from your end, Skis, is that that they're hearing me with a little bit of echo.
Oh Lord, give me 1 second.
So let's have
I might have had my hands up near my face. Might be better. Ask them if it's better now. They can hear me.
Well, they're listening in, so hopefully they will
yeah, they can hear me.
They will give me the thumbs up that it's all good to go. Now, we've got 6 rounds this time. We've got, 8 rounds. And as a little bit of a change to last season, only the best 7 of 8 scores will count. So that will hopefully keep the championship close to the end. So this week we're at KYOTO Driving Park, YAMAGIWA. Sorry for anybody Japanese listening, that was probably a horrific pronunciation. And then next week, and this is one that...
It's a whole lot better than I can do.
Well, next week is going to be, we're in Japan again with the Tokyo Expressway. And those tracks are just such hard work, aren't they? One little mistake and you're going to get a whole world of pain with those barriers down each side. And
when you said Tokyo Expressway, my eyes lit up. That's so much. And it's because I'm not driving it. It's because I'm going to be talking about it and watching it. That's why my eyes lit up. If I was driving it, I'd be scared. And
then we got Saint-Croix B, or I don't know how do the French say B? I suppose they say B. That's round 3, and then we're off to real world circuits for round 4 at Spa, Brands Hatch 5th, Nürburgring 6th, and then we're off to the Red Bull Ring for a wet race, so that should be pretty lively. And then we round the championship out back in Japan at Suzuka.
And now the Nürburgring, is that going to have the Nordschleife on it as well, wet?
No, that's just the GP.
Oh, that would have been amazing.
Yeah, a bit like going back to your Daytona antics last night. Those infield bits at Daytona, they're just so narrow. It's like a country lane.
Oh my Lord! And it's slippery. They're very slippery. It's flat. There's no contour anywhere. And it's flat as can be. So like you have to find the first hairpin on the infield is like there's a tiny banking that if you find it and where it's rubbed in, you can get that car turned just a tiny bit more. But also, like you were talking about, they're so tiny, and we were talking about the GT3s and the LMP2s. Those BMWs are huge. Like, I've seen, like, jokes about it and stuff, but oh my Lord, you do not realize it until you are sitting behind that BMW in an LMP2 car, how tiny you are and how big they are. And sometimes they don't even see you.
No, and to be fair, most of the time, you're exactly right, that the GT3 guys, how should you say, knew their position in the food chain and were very good generally at getting out of the way, but it was particularly that little infield section just after the pits and that little bus stop kind of chicane on the back straight. There were a few heart stoppers there because just to give people at home an understanding, for those of you who know Spa, the old Spa with like a little, almost like a lay-by as we call it in the UK, on the back straight, just to slow the cars down between the 2 big bank corners. And it is really, you got a flat out straight and then you're on the brakes, bouncing the curbs and then back out again. And the closing speeds through there for some of those GT3 cars was quite eye-opening, to say the least.
Oh, I mean, when I was talking about earlier getting stuck behind a car at a certain corner, even behind LMP2 cars, that's a corner that's so tricky for some. I would come in there third, fourth gear, coming in through real fast. That's where I would gain a lot of time on people. And a lot of them slow down a lot. So you're expecting something, and then all of a sudden that breaking point that you have, there's something getting a whole lot bigger real quick at you. Throws you off. But let's see what's going on right here. I'm excited.
Here we go. Reverse grid. Let's see. And Dan, I think, is at the back as he was organised with that. So Yombold's on pole, Truno second, and Cajun is third. So their tactics from the first race have worked well into the second race. And I'm not quite... Oh, yeah. Hello. I just wondered... Oh, look at that. We've got 1, 2, 3 for the team golf.
Really? Oh, that's gorgeous.
And we're away.
Ooh. I'm keeping an eye on Dan in the back, seeing what's going on, because I have an idea he might cut through.
Yeah, but I think it looks like in the background he's going to take a little bit of time, but the one who isn't taking time there was Loxtec in third. He slid up the inside of... Oh, I've lost my names. There we go. He slid up the inside of Cajun, which was a surprise.
Ooh, Select and Stormfly are getting real racy.
Oh, Stormfly's up to fifth already.
They're getting real racy. He is taking every inch of track that he can find. I love it.
But he looks like he's just dropped back in position. I'm going to hop back with him. Oh, blimey, this is busy. So,
oh yeah, there's a lot going on back here, dude.
it looks, oh, they're going side by side all the way through their Stormfly and Select, but they got through. They got through.
And Dan made a move in the tiniest of gaps. I didn't even see the gap, but he somehow did.
Yeah, but he's taken it steady as he always does up to eighth there, isn't he?
Oh man, now how are we looking at the front? Low set going ahead and create. It looks like he has a 1.5 second gap. Looks like he's trying to extend it. Looks like we got the Brits working together in second and third.
I'm just on them now. Yeah. Okay. Well, Cajun's come back up very quickly there because he dropped to fourth there at the start, but he's followed Loxtec through there, so he's done well. And we know from race one he did have some good pace, didn't we? He lost out because of going for that two-stopper, and he wore out his tyres. But you know, let's not count him out for a good result in this one.
Tuono has damage.
Oh, I
don't know where he got that damage from.
He's not looking like he's dropping off particularly, but it does look. Dan slid. I noticed he slid through to seventh, so
he's. Yep, there's some more damage. He just did a little drift action.
Ah, that's not going to help the situation at all, is it?
Not at all, not at all.
Oh, we've got three quick guys here all together in 4th, 5th and 6th. Stormfly, Chili Bass and Dan.
And Cajun is closing down the low set.
Well, we saw some good pace from Cajun in race one, didn't he? And it just all fell away for him at the end of the race.
And seeing Select's going Select's doing his job right now. He's creating a gap to Stormfly. It looks like there's a contingent trying to battle Stormfly and keep him slowed down.
Well, he is a very quick guy, as we know. He ran away with this championship.
Oh, low sec in the wall, leader in the wall.
Oh, was it just a brush, though?
Ooh, he went off. He slowed him down a fair bit.
I'm just having a quick look, see if I can catch it. Oh, right in front of the camera there. Yeah, and he's picked up some front left damage as well.
And it's almost down to half a second now. That's bringing everybody in.
Oh, this is looking tight.
Let's see. Oh, Dan's up to 5th.
Yeah, well,
Dan's now sitting behind Stormfly.
Yeah, well, there's that little pack of them, isn't there? And Timorous and Chili Bass just behind as well. So these are the guys that we are expecting to bubble through to the front. But just to remind everybody at home, because we didn't touch on it, the top 6 from the first race who had to start at the back for race 2, they are on the medium tyres, so they can get rid of them at any time, but they are slightly handicapped at the moment compared to the cars around them. So that should, you know, keep things tighter as we've got on screen, but they can go and pit, get rid of those and get softer tyres. But we have got a slightly longer race this time. It's 30 minutes, not the 20 we had last time, and that can sometimes lend itself.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry. I thought you were finished.
Okay. And the longer race can sometimes lend itself to a two-stop as against a one-stopper. So strategies may not come together until right up until the end.
take a look down in 11th. What happened with Jan? He's got a fresh set of super softs and a full tank of gas.
Well, I think after he had that incident, he decided to go for the pit. So, as I was just saying there, this is something that might come into play a little bit later on because he's got to stop out of the way.
And Cajun has the lead done. Now.
Sorry?
Cajun
he is.
Lead.
Well, we knew he had some pace, didn't we?
That damage is still killing Losec.
Was that from that slight clip with the wall, do you think? Oh, Stormfly's down the inside of Select.
Either that or it looks like he got new damage, actually. This looks like it's on the front right. No, that's the front left. Never mind. My left and rights are off today, guys.
Stormfly's just picked up third off Select.
Oh, man, yes he has.
Nice textbook maneuver. Go.
I mean, he doesn't have much gas left either.
Yeah, that was a nice turn one manoeuvre, usual routine down the inside. Took the apex as a high ground and forced Select wide, so that was a really nice manoeuvre there. The sort of thing we've come to expect from Stormfly.
And now it looks like we got a leader in the undercut right here with Chili Bass. It looks like he's leading the undercut strategy in 8th right now.
And that's quite interesting because those Greek drivers tend to be the ones that tend to go longer, so that's quite a surprise. And the one that's just picked the handicap up is Select with a 1.5 second penalty.
Oh, that hurts. What happened there? I missed it.
I think it was just track limits. I didn't see anything particularly happen. I think it might have been a big chunk of grass at that sort of left chicane.
I got you. Well, the thing with GT is if you do this in practice too, there are specific places you can rub that off by running just a little bit slower on your racing line. Oh, we got leaders in the pits.
Yeah, interestingly, Cajun is the one staying out.
Yeah, I mean, his super softs are still good. I wonder if he does a splash.
I don't know. You want to go reasonably as deep as you can. I know a lot of these drivers have managed to convert these second races into one stops, but Cajun
Select up into second.
Yeah, he's pushing the limit on the field for that. And maybe he's just been a little cautious because he got caught out in the first race, didn't he? Because he went really long on those super softs and ended up with no grip, and it all spun away from him. So maybe he's just working on that basis of trying to get as longer session out of these tyres as he can.
Yeah, look who our new net leader is. Chili Bass.
Do you think?
That undercut worked.
Yes, it did. Yes, well, good spot there, Skis. I didn't see that one.
I mean, when did he pit? It looks like he pitted lap 1.
And I've seen them do that before. They've tended to go early. They really don't like those medium tyres, so they get rid of them as fast as they possibly can, but still seem to be able to pull the race back. So he's currently 26-ish seconds behind Cajun. So
he's just gone purple.
Chili Bass.
Yes, Chili Bass just went purple.
He's still on about similar kind of gap at the moment, but Cajun's got to go for the pit. So this is going to be, we'll stick, I think, with Chili Bass, because I think we're going to see Cajun coming out of the pits. And be interested to see whether he goes for a full fuel up this time, Cajun.
Oh, and Cajun was on the super sauce. I forgot about that.
Yeah, Select's just gone in the pits. He was the last of the mediums. So here we go.
So let's see here.
Chili Bass is down the main straight. You were spot on. You were spot on,
so is Dan. Oh my lord, that undercut. And it looks like tire degradation's not as bad this race as it was the last one.
But was that because those guys were running mediums and keeping similar pace to the guys with the super soft? They didn't have quite such a drop off. Did that help?
It could. It 100% could help, and it also depends on how much weight they're running. Because if they plan to come in again, they might not take a full tank right away to save as much tires as they can.
Well, I think it's going to be 2 stopping. At least Cajun is, because he's got about 3/4 of a tank. So from the last race, I think that gives you about 10, 11 minutes. So he is going to have to stop again.
Yeah, I mean, they're all going to have to stop again, it looks like.
Well, the only one, well, let's have a look at the other Greek drivers. Yeah, no, Timorous has only got just over half a tank, so yes, it is going to be 2 stoppers all the way round.
So it's going to be, there could be another undercut. There could be an overcut. I mean, that's why I love a little bit longer races like this, when you have to do multiple pit stops, because it just creates different trains of thought for different people.
Well, looking at battles on track at the moment, the one is Timorous and Loxtec are battling away for 5th and 6th. But Timorous, after a couple of good corners there, does seem to have pulled a little bit of a gap on Loxtec, but Loxtec now actually is starting to come back, so it's still looking really tight up the front here for these first sort of top 6 positions, isn't it?
Oh yeah, I mean, speaking of battles, I don't know if he's battling him. It looks like Dan is just tailing Stormfly. Doesn't look like he's trying to pass him. It looks like he's just trying to stay behind him, maybe save as much fuel as possible. It looks like he switched over to softs as well.
Well, as we know from last season, Dan does tend to play very much the long game.
He does. I mean, and he's fast no matter what kind of tire you put on his car.
He is, and also he knows he only needs to be in front come the end of the race. So he's, I think, as you rightly pointed out, playing a bit of a waiting game there behind Stormfly, because he knows hopefully his time will come, but it's going to be close to these two towards the end.
Well, and if there was ever a dude to follow if you're trying to get to the front, it is Stormfly, because he's always going to try to find his way up there.
Well, it's interesting, the only other element there is the tyre, as you mentioned. Dan's gone for the soft, whereas Stormfly is on the super softs. So that could bring something into play as well, couldn't it?
It could, because, you know, Dan could possibly, you know, run the softs to the end if he felt like it. You know, it could be tough, but if he saves them by staying behind and, you know, maybe coasting and saving gas as well, he could, you know, not have to switch tires and save some time.
I can't see him making it, because he's got just over half a tank, and with somewhere just over 18 minutes, I think he's going to have to pit with about 7 or 8 minutes to go.
Oh yeah, I mean, they're all going to have to pit. I was talking about tires.
Yeah, I'm with you. Our consumer feedback is mentioning there is still a little bit of feedback of my voice from your headset, or from whatever you're using down that end.
I gotcha. How about, you know what, it might have been too loud in my ears. I didn't even think about that.
I don't want you to doze off. Oh, that's better. I've gone away now.
Yep, but I completely forgot that this headset's very loud.
Dan!
Oh, Dan! And Stormfly was he held it together.
He dropped all his marbles all over the floor on the entries to those corners, but somehow he gathered them all up and put them back in the bag. That was absolutely incredible, and he held on to 3rd place.
And now we got Stormfly. He's ready to go. He's hunting down right now. They're going at it. He's going to try to make his pass. It looks like he's hunting and looking for his time. I wonder where he's going to take it.
Well, I don't know. Will you keep us posted on that one? The one I'm looking at is the battle for 3rd, 4th, 5th, and really 6th. Even though Lockstack's got a bit of a penalty, Cajun has got the smell of blood of the Kit Kat Porsche in front of him, and they're just coming round onto the main straight. They are nose to tail. So that little mistake by Dan has dropped him back in.
Oh, Stormfly going for the move.
I'm on it.
Down the inside, and he's stuck it. That was... Oh, wait. Is Chili Bass going to fight it? Chili Bass is fighting it. Chili Bass took another line like I was talking about earlier. That is smart. He out-ended it just so he can stick on him and not lose too much time. So they're still tail to tail. But Stormfly stuck it.
You can get that big pile of pain, can't you, when you let someone pass, or someone gets past you. And it's interesting. It's the big difference, I think, between the experienced and the novice racers, is the ones that fight the position to the point of losing so much time themselves. They'd have been much better off doing exactly what you pointed out Chili Bass did there, which is that the battle was lost, let him go, and we'll come back with a fight another day.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's so much different strategies when it comes to racing, and as you said, the more experienced drivers see the more nuanced ways to get to the front than just, I gotta go fast.
Well, the one who is going fast at the moment and has really got the bit between his teeth is Cajun on Dan, and Cajun's running, I believe, the Super Softs, and he's not letting Dan go.
Yeah, Cajun's flying.
And he had... Go.
No, you go ahead.
He had good pace in that first race, didn't we? But just, unfortunately, tyre wear, it all slipped away from him, so...
Now, I'm excited to see what Chili Bass is going to do with the next coming up pit stop, because he has about a quarter of a tank, not maybe just a touch, maybe 2 laps less than Stormfly does in the tank. So we could see maybe another undercut strategy if he can get space. I mean, with how everybody is so fast and similar here, you can be really smart with it and create a gap for yourself.
You can. I'm just having a quick look back. I can see a little bit of action further back. Noddy's mate, who had that cracking 4th place in the first race, he's got a little bit of a gap on Juno and Select. But Select is all over Juno, because I'm guessing Select, he's out of sequence with the pit stops, isn't he?
Let me go.
I'm trying to remember. No, I don't think he is, but he's down there in 9th at the moment.
Well, he's got half a tank left.
Well, less than that now, isn't he?
He's got the most gas out of anybody except Losec. I don't know, that might be something to keep an eye on.
He's not going to stretch that to the end, but they might give him a shorter pit stop later on, which is maybe what some of these guys are going for on strategy.
I mean, Chili Bass, speaking of stretching, Chili Bass is not letting Stormfly stretch this gap at all. Oh, I say that and Chili Bass goes wide. That's the curse. That's
Commentator's curse.
I'm so sorry. That was bad. He lost a whole second, like the second I said it. Yeah. Wow.
Well, the late great Murray Walker was had a special power about him on that particular subject, didn't he? He mentioned anything about any driver, and instantly their engine would blow, they'd run off, they'd get a puncture or anything of that style. So the commentator's curse is legendary.
Oh yeah, it's one of those things like here. I don't know how much you know about baseball, but it's a very superstitious sport. But one of the superstitions is if somebody has a pitcher has a no-hitter or a perfect game going, you don't say a word about it. If you mention those words at all, if you say no-hitter or perfect game, the next pitch is going to get hit. Every single time.
Well, baseball, that's what rounders for grown-ups, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it's like cricket, except you have to actually hit it straight.
We'll call that a draw. So, who have we got moving and shaking? We'll go back to Dan. Dan now, oh, hello. Cajun, unseen by us, must have had a little bit of a moment, because he's now 7.5 seconds behind Dan.
Yeah, and it looks like Dan's trying to hunt down Chili Bass and get back. He's got a lot of time to make up after that mistake.
Yeah, well, I think that might be more of a case that Dan got back in the groove and has got.
We got somebody in the pits.
Who have we got?
Jan Bold in the pits.
He was towards the back. Oh, he's just coming out. He was towards the back of the field, wasn't he? Oh,
Chili Bass in the pits.
We saw it. So he's pulled the trigger on the second round of stops realistically there, hasn't he?
I think he's timed it out because he pitted early, and I think he realized he could run a full tank and not waste time. I don't know, like sometimes if you can get off that harder compound early, some people are good stretching out a harder compound, but some people just want to go, go, go. And he's doing good by doing that go, go, go strategy.
And with that go, 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 I would say that my guesstimate is you can do about 17 minutes on a full tank.
It looks like he timed it up because he didn't go full tank, so he must know exactly how much he needed. They must have timed it right for him.
Well, I think you get an indicator on the pit stop. There's a little dot on the fuel bar that if you fill it to that point, it should take you to the end of the race.
Select. Select is the one I don't know about, because he has just a little less than half a tank.
don't think he could go all the way. I might be wrong. But
he would have to do a super fuel save.
But then a pit stop's going to cost you somewhere around about 26, 27 seconds.
Oh, he scraped the wall right there as we were speaking and got him a little sparks. No slowdown damage or anything, just, you know, starting some fireworks.
Well, just making sure he's using these full value of the track.
Leaders in the pits.
So Dan's gone, Stormfly's gone.
Let's see who comes out first.
So let's look at who we can't see at the moment. No, I can't see because he's...
Alright, I'm going to go watch Chili Bass, see what happens when he comes around right here.
Great minds think alike. Chili Bass is just coming down the main straight.
Let's see what happens right here. Select's in the lead now. So, he didn't... Oh my gosh, he came out behind.
Which he'd have been overtaken. Yeah, well, he'd been overtaken by Stormfly, but of course these guys only had to put one less lap worth of fuel in. So, is that the difference? One lap of fuel can make.
It really can, but it's. I mean, they're also just fast. So them getting clean air, that, you know, half a second can get you out in front that quick, and it gives you enough time to speed up. I mean, it's literally a game, you know, a game of milliseconds.
Well, Select is the one you picked up on before, is 8.5 seconds up the road, but he's just had a little bit of a moment at the faster chicane, and the left right, right left right there. He was out on the grass, and he's lost about half a second there just through that sector, and he's about 1.8 seconds off his best lap. So
yeah, he's his tires are he's skiing out there. He's got ice skates.
I think he's rapidly hitting reverse on his way back towards Stormfly and Dan.
Let's see if he dives in. And no, he doesn't. He stayed out.
He's got probably another 2, maybe 3 laps on those, so that's going to take it there. You're going to have a real splash and dash, but that's he might get out.
See, that's what I was thinking about. If he could have gone in right there, and maybe if he had had a gap, he would have gone in for a splash. So maybe right now he has to drop that fuel. Now he's going to have to splash.
Well, Stormfly and Dan have made their exit away from Chili Bass very much in 4th. So I think while we've got a little bit of a quieter spot post pit stops, I'll just quickly run down the order. R80's in 5th. So that's an improvement on his first race performance. So I think he's had a fairly quiet race there. He's about 15 seconds behind the leading 4 and about 2.5 seconds in front of Lockstech in 6th, who is under a lot of pressure at the moment from Cajun. So we'll stick with this for a second. 6th and 7th looking quite lively, and Noddy's mate, who his pit stop, he was a little bit higher than that, wasn't he? He's down in 8th at the moment. He had that good result in race 1, but it seems to have shuffled away from him in race 2.
Yeah, I mean, and you know, there's always a lot of time, you know, to make up for it. But I'm pretty sure he had to start on a harder tire as well. So this, you know, as you said, he was a little upset with his racing last season. So I don't know how many times he had to actually start on that medium. So it might be, you know, a little bit of a learning experience too.
I think you hit the nail right on the head, because I think that was probably the first times he started on the medium. So that was probably a little bit of an eye opener for him on that one.
Oh, and Select's in the pits.
He knew he was going to go. Where's he going to come out? I think.
I mean, he might come out in 4th.
Possibly. He might come right in that tight battle for 6th, 7th, and 8th.
Depending on how much.
He's rolling. He's rolling.
He changed tires too. So he got a tire change. And the fuel. Oh my gosh. That's.
So that did work.
It did. He's right back where he was.
So just moving down, who have we done? So we were talking. Oh no, Lockstech.
Oh.
He's playing scrape the barriers.
Oh.
He's got it. Oh no. He scraped the barrier all the way down.
Where Dottie's going? Did they hit? I couldn't switch to him in time. Oh, there they are.
No, they got away with Lockstech, went along the barrier, and then he just seems to have got one of those unsettled sequences. You get it wrong on one corner and he messed up the next one.
I think Dan's decided he's done waiting.
Okay, I'm on it.
He's putting pressure.
I'm going to go on board. I think we've sat right behind Stormfly, working down through this far sort of almost Beckett's kind of section. Well, where would you go for it?
Chicane. Shoot, I don't know. Me, actually, I know exactly where I would go for it. I would stick it around the outside on that left-hander. I love sticking a move on the outside. If you can get a little bit of a slipstream and send it, because then somebody gets scared and they don't want you to come into them. Or they think they can't hold their inside line.
Talking the slipstream, Stormfly was doing a bit of a Verstappen weave down the main straight, trying to shake Dan off, so he definitely knows he's there and knows he's a threat. So this one, I think, is going to go to the flag.
It's going to be exciting to see. We got 5 more minutes of just good racing.
I'm just looking back. We've got possibly a slightly close spot there, around about the midfield, but I think we'll stick on board with this battle for the moment, because this is where the action, I think, is going to be. I think that Kit Kat Porsche
would be a one to keep an eye on for. He has no tires and low fuel, but like legit, his tires are gone.
Dan's off. Dan's off. That faster chicane, he was doing the agricultural thing down across the grass, and
he didn't get a penalty.
Well, I suppose the game would look at it on that respect, that he's not actually gaining any time there, or he's losing it. But we know Gran Turismo, GT Sport, is not exactly perfect in that respect.
Oh yeah, but it's a relief for him, because if he got a penalty there, that would make it 100 times harder, being this late in the race.
I've just dropped back to Lockstack with Tuno and Noddy's mate on his tail. As you say, he has got no tyres, and the first shot I got of him, he was sideways. So
and people are going, oh, there he is again.
Yep.
And it's really, and that doesn't mean anything about him being a bad driver or anything. People that are wondering him, getting loose a lot right now, but that just, he's driving on edge and trying to do it with tires that aren't there. Like, it's really, really hard.
Noddy's mate's not finished with getting by Lockstack there. He's having a go at Tuno. He looked like he was going down the inside there at the final corner, but now he's got a great slipstream down the main straight as they cross the line. I think he might be popping the nose out and having a look.
That looks to be our closest battle right now.
I think the leaders are still fairly close, so we'll keep an eye. We've got just 3 minutes to go. God, that 27 minutes has gone quickly, hasn't it?
Honestly, that was really fast. But right now, time is just not really a real thing in my brain after yesterday. Time just kind of happens. So, yeah. You zone out halfway through, and next thing you know, it's been 5 hours. So, I understand.
Well, we've done a 4-hour race commentary-wise, so you never know. We could do something a bit longer in the future.
Oh, 24, man, that'd be... Oh, my God. We'd have to, come up with, some media segments or something. Just keep our brains going. Like trivia or whatever. Ooh, Stormfly's trying to break the toe.
He was doing that a couple of laps ago. I've just dropped away from the Noddy's Bait Truno battle, as they did seem to be splitting away. So I think that's settled down. But so Dan can see we've just got 2 laps to go now. So it's now or never for Dan on Stormfly. And obviously Dan's taken a bit of pain in the first race with having a 0 score.
I think Dan is he's being a little bit more patient right now than he was, when he made that mistake. I think he's realized where he can push it and where he can't, and how he can get right back in with the slip.
But he's only got 1 minute 40 of patience left.
Oh yeah, that's a lap and a half.
But with the new system we've got, that they will drop their lowest scores, this could be Dan's dropper possibly. So it's not all over. So
that could be. But, he's not going to treat it like that.
And Stormfly's putting purples in. With virtually the last lap.
It's gorgeous.
He's got. It looks like he's gapping Dan again. I'm talking gap, and it's 0.6 of a second. But Stormfly's right on his fastest pace.
Dan is faster in the last sector and the first sector. Stormfly's faster in the middle. And they just keep opening and closing.
So here we go, last lap. This is what it's all about. One more to go.
Oh man, this is exciting.
It just doesn't seem, Dan doesn't just seem to be able to get that little bit closer. He's got it down to 0.3. And it's just, can he do something at the tighter hairpin that they're coming up to through this sort of chicane? He's going
for it at the chicane. He's made his moves on the inside. It'll be on the, well, yeah, it'll be on the driver's right-hand side. So he's going to try to make a move down through there at the chicane. That's where I've seen him making his moves.
And Stormfly made a little mistake there through that right-left at the bottom of the hill. So Dan is right on him now. Possibly down into this left-right chicane. This is one where you can take quite a lot of curb, isn't it? Oh, Stormfly!
There it is. What I tell you, right up the inside.
Yeah.
Right up the inside.
Fantastic.
He's been doing that the whole time. He's been sizing it up the whole race.
Yeah, but that was down to Stormfly made a bit of a mistake there.
I think Stormfly saw it coming last second and tried to adjust.
Do you think? I thought it was more that Stormfly had made the mistake and Dan just. Oh yeah, that's it over, isn't it? I'm going to risk and whiz back to that. Here we go.
I'll keep an eye on it in case something happens, because Dan's been loose this whole race.
Yeah, I've just played the replay, and Stormfly was going a little bit defensive on the way in, and when he came to the exit, his back end just stepped out, and Dan was already on the perfect line, and he wasn't giving it up, and he just went straight across the curbs.
Yep, and there goes Dan across the line right there.
And they finished the race. Looks like, unfortunately,
Dan takes the win.
Yeah, the replay has gone back. Yeah, unfortunately, missed them going across the line there. So Dan in first, Stormfly second, Chili Bass third, Sleck coming up in fourth. So that worked out for him in the end.
Fifth.
Yeah, he jumped up. He was running about sixth, I think, wasn't he? And the other one.
But speaking of sixth, Cajun, that's a solid finish.
That was. Tuno, a good result after his first race, and another solid result there for Noddy's mate in eighth. And then Timorous, that was a bit of an underwhelming performance there in ninth. That must have been a strategy problem there for him, I think, because I'd expected to see him a lot further up than that. I didn't notice he had an incident anywhere.
Yeah, I really want to know what happened with that. I know you're going to review the race later, but when you do, I want you to let me know what happened there, because that one went right over us. I didn't even see that.
So, because he was, battling up with the other guys there at the front. So I'm not quite sure what happened there, but then that's the problem with these DTM races at FOER. There's so much going on all the time, isn't there? So it's difficult to know where to look. So I think we managed to catch most of the action there, and we had two fantastic races.
It's a beautiful track. There's every bit of it is great racing corners. Every turn's awesome. I don't know. It's a very good track. It's very fun for racing, especially when you have light cars like we did today with the Porsches. Because then you don't have to worry about a big old Nissan blocking up a little Alfa Romeo or something. So it just makes it good to see them all driving something even.
It does, and it's then down to the driver, maybe a little bit of setup, but it just balances things out really well, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does, because you can see, and granted, the Porsche's not everybody's cup of tea. There's some people who can really, really get that thing moving, but if you practice, but it is the same car.
Yeah.
Everything is up to driving style, but in the end, it is the same car.
So, couple of great races there. Myself and Skis will be back again next Sunday night with round 2. But in the meantime, Wednesday night, if you want to see a bit more action, I'll be here commentating at 8 PM on Wednesday night on the Group 4 Asia based series. Basically means that cars will have to come from the Far East, so they can choose whatever they want as long as they're in Group 4. So we'll be running on the same circuits again. So hopefully you can join us for that one. We'll be live on YouTube for that as well, and then myself and Skis will be back next Sunday night. So thank you everyone for watching, and really great to see you along watching us. So until next time, it's goodbye from me.
Hey, y'all have a blessed one. It was a great one. We'll see you next week.